From the dawn of human civilization to the electrifying arenas of today, grappling has remained an unbroken thread connecting us for over 5,000 years. It's not just a sport, it's a story of survival, discipline, and the human spirit. But where did this timeless art begin? How did it evolve into the dynamic martial art forms we know today? And what makes grappling one of the most enduring expressions of human competition? In this video, we'll uncover the incredible journey of grappling, a journey spanning thousands of years and countless cultures. Be sure to stick around to the end, because the story of grappling is far more surprising than you might expect. Long before the written word, humanity grappled, not just with each other, but with the challenges of survival. Grappling was more than combat. It was an art, a rite, and sometimes a matter of life and death. In Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, the earliest records of grappling were carved into stone nearly 5,000 years ago. These depictions reveal techniques still recognizable today: joint locks, body throws, and pins. Wrestling wasn't just entertainment. It was a reflection of strength and status, often performed before kings as a display of power and discipline. In Egypt, grappling evolved into an art form intertwined with military training. Depictions on tomb walls, particularly in the tomb of Beni Hassan, showcase over 400 distinct wrestling techniques. Soldiers trained rigorously, blending grappling with weapon skills, ensuring they were ready for both battle and ceremonial contests. In India, wrestling wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. Grapplers trained in sacred akharas, following strict dietary and moral codes, seeing grappling as a path to self-discipline and enlightenment. These traditions birthed kushti and malakamba, martial arts that have withstood the test of time. The Greeks elevated grappling to an art of strategy and intellect, naming it pale. As one of the original Olympic sports, it symbolized balance, a test of mind and body. Grapplers competed in front of roaring crowds, their techniques refined, and their matches a spectacle of skill and endurance. Wrestling was more than competition. It was a measure of excellence in Greek society. From the sands of Egypt to the Colosseums of Greece, grappling's ancient roots remind us of its timeless appeal. But what comes next is what really elevated grappling to the next level. In the heart of the Roman Empire, wrestling was no mere sport. It was a spectacle of survival. Gladiators were trained rigorously in grappling techniques, combining the precision of Greek pale with brutal innovations suited to life and death combat. The Roman warriors did not just fight for victory, but for their very lives. Their level of training often determined their probability of survival on the battlefield. When the Roman Empire crumbled, grappling did not vanish. It adapted, finding a home in the rigorous training of medieval knights. Grappling, or ringen, was as essential as swordsmanship, teaching warriors how to overcome their enemies in close quarters, even when disarmed. Tournaments brought these techniques to public view, blending raw skill with the pageantry of chivalry. But while Europe forged its own path, the art of grappling reached extraordinary heights in Asia. In Japan, Jiu-Jitsu was refined by the samurai as a way to defeat armored opponents, emphasizing leverage and finesse over brute strength. Every move carried not just physical mastery, but philosophical depth, rooted in the principles of balance and control. On the endless steppes of Mongolia, wrestling became a cornerstone of cultural identity. Known as Bok, it symbolized strength, endurance, and honor. Festivals celebrated these contests, where warriors battled not only for personal glory, but for their tribe's pride. This era allowed many cultures to add their own distinct signature to the art, creating a global mosaic that would soon journey into the modern era. Its next chapter would be written in new lands, with new rules and challenges. As the industrial age transformed the world, grappling found a new stage: carnivals. In the late 19th century, catch wrestling emerged as a crowd favorite. combining techniques from various styles. It became a spectacle of strength and strategy, captivating audiences across Europe and the United States. The early 20th century saw grappling take a leap into the global spotlight. Wrestling was included in the modern Olympic Games, with freestyle and Greco-Roman disciplines showcasing the sport's diversity and athleticism. In the late 19th century, Japan was undergoing rapid modernization. Jigoro Kano, a scholar and martial artist, sought to preserve the essence of traditional jiu-jitsu while adapting it for a changing world. He studied numerous jiu-jitsu schools, distilling their techniques into a new system he called Judo, the gentle way. Kano emphasized two core principles: Shiryoka Zenyo, or using the least amount of energy for the maximum effect, and Jita Kaioi, the idea of mutual welfare and benefit. Kano's vision didn't stop in Japan. He sent ambassadors of Judo across the globe, inspiring a worldwide movement. By 1964, Judo had secured its place as the first Asian martial art in the Olympics, marking a monumental moment in grappling history. In the early 20th century, Mitsuyo Maeda, a judo expert, brought Kano's teachings to Brazil. Among his students was Carlos Gracie, who, along with his family, began transforming the art. Through experimentation and adaptation, the Gracies created Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a style that focused heavily on ground fighting and submissions. The Gracies tested their art in Vale Tudo, a precursor to MMA. By emphasizing leverage and positional control, they proved that even a smaller fighter could dominate larger opponents, reshaping the martial arts landscape. The 1990s catapulted BJJ into global prominence when Royce Gracie dominated the first UFC tournaments, showcasing the art's effectiveness and popularizing it. Today, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu thrives not only in MMA, but as a competitive sport in its own right, with international tournaments drawing thousands of practitioners annually. Grappling has come a long way, from ancient rituals and traditional arts to the dynamic sports we see today. It's a journey that reflects the creativity, discipline, and resilience of humanity. We hope you enjoyed this exploration of grappling's rich history. If you found it interesting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world of martial arts and history. And we'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite grappling style or moment? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.